Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and yes, I know I'm behind on this one, so I'm so sorry, but yeah, we got to talk about this potential update that's coming out. Well, it is an update, it's not potential, but what's potentially in the update coming out. I think both Teeds and Spragels, my beautiful, amazing colleagues in this content creation world for Pokemon Unite, have done a great job of talking about it. But yeah, I actually wasn't planning on making this video, but I got a lot of questions on stream about it, so I figured let's go ahead and dive into it. So yeah, let's talk about this update that could be a crazy big update, but I'm also going to go ahead and pair something in with it, which would be my personal top 5 wish list for this update. So I think that the basis for which we're looking at this update all stems from the fact that there's going to be a very long downtime for it. Now, I know I think Teeds did the math on it. I didn't actually pay attention to it. The downtime is something like 8 or 10 hours, something like that. So it's a very, very long downtime for an update. And I think that that's where a lot of the kind of like theory crafting, I guess you could say, or just like speculation around this update is really coming from, because the only time we've ever had a really long downtime, if I remember correctly, was the mobile update. And in the past, me and Spragels have both even said, and we kind of agreed on this, that the mobile update felt like the true release of the game. It felt like they were truly like putting out a really substantial patch, and that they were, putting some really big changes in. So, big downtime, in a sense, kind of could equal really big patch. Now, I do have a caveat to that thought process, so definitely stick around, drop a like on the video, drop your thoughts at the end of the video, because I want to let y'all know what I'm thinking that kind of counters that thought, but we'll get to that in just a minute, because I do want to talk a little bit about my top 5 wish list for what I want this update to be. But yeah, that's the general thinking, is that it could be a very, very big update, because there's a lot of downtime. That means they're doing big changes. I really don't know how server maintenance works or how anything like that works, but big changes are kind of the thought process, the implication of having such long downtime. So let's go ahead and jump into my top 5 list. This is, this list I don't think will be anything crazy, but it's a list that I want for this update. Not what I think is like the top 5 needed things for the game, but a list that I would want for this update. Some of them will probably not happen at all. Some of them will probably definitely happen. But this is my list. So number 1 on the list is matchmaking rank changes. Now, I made that really, really broad on purpose, because right now, in the current state of Pokemon Unite, I would honestly welcome just about anything that changes in matchmaking or ranked. If they made the ranks harder, that would be cool, like harder to get through, that would be awesome. If they made it like require more wins essentially to get to Masters or something. If they tighten the matchmaking so that way we're not playing with so many different variety of ranks, that would be awesome. If they changed it to where there was like a solo duo queue and like a team queue, that would be awesome. Essentially, at this point, I'm interested in just about any potential changes they could add to the game. That could be literally anything. So I do think that that's pretty high up on my list. Just something to shake up what we've got going on, especially because I'm just not a huge fan of how ranked works right now at all anyways. But regardless of that, that's definitely number 1 on my list. Now, number 2, and this is a really big one. I don't know if we would get this. I think I would definitely be shocked if we got this, but a new map. I think a whole new map, not just map changes, not something to thematic, but how crazy would it be if they launch a whole new map? And that could be something that is a quick play map, although I wouldn't prefer it to be a quick play map, but maybe a whole new ranked map that could either change ranked, like ranked doesn't get played on the current map anymore, or it could be added into a map pool, so that way we have 2 maps to play in ranked. I think that would be really, really so cool, man. That would shake up the game so much. I would love to see that. So that's definitely pretty high on my list. I don't think we're gonna get that, but oh man, how crazy would that be? All right, number 3 is new items. Now, when we got the mobile update, again, if I remember correctly, I have really bad memory, but if I remember correctly, with the mobile update, that's when they introduced Weakness Policy, Razor Claw, and Choice Specs. Now, those 3 items, they really changed the game. Now, Weakness Policy is not so much, but Choice Specs and Razor Claw are very, very strong items in the meta. And I would love to see them to continue to add and shuffle items around, maybe season by season change things in and out, like, take 1 or 2 items out of the meta, add 2 items into the meta, or just into the game, would be really interesting. So I would love to see the addition of like a few more items, the implications of adding items, is big. It could change a lot of things for the game. It could really change things depending on what those items do. You just have no idea. Could be really cool. Number 4 is big balance changes. I say big on purpose because I would love to see heavy swings, and I've talked about this in the past. Not only do we need like more frequent patches, but we sometimes need them to be bold with what they do. You know, like take some of the bad characters and do crazy stuff, you know, double their damage, or, you know, cut the cooldown down by like 75% on some of their abilities, give them resets, give them double charges on some of their abilities, give them, you know, all kinds of crazy things like that. I would love to see big meta swings, and you know, in general, I would love to see more balance changes happen often, but especially now, I would love to see really big swings. And when I say big balance changes, I'm talking characters, I'm talking items, I'm talking Zapdos maybe. Like at this point, I'm just down for whatever, you know. Let's get some big changes in the game. Let's, you know, give us some content, something to talk about, something to buzz about, find things out about the game would be really cool. And number 5, I think this is a really formidable one, a really solid thing to put on the list. A good winter themed event. I think that would be really fun. I don't know what that looks like, you know, new map, quick play version of a map, I don't know, but give us like a nice solid winter themed event, something that we can earn, you know, maybe some rewards in there, a daily login type system like they always do, something fun, something to go after, something that feels, you know, inclusive, and something that feels like it's worth our time to spend on it. I would love to see that. So there you have my like top 5 list of things that I would love to see for this upcoming update. Again, let's kind of jump back into topic. The thought process is that, you know, with the big downtime, the implications of that is that it could be a big update. Now, I want to kind of spit out my caveat to that, because I'm a little unsure if that's exactly what we're getting. So, not that long ago, very credible leaker in the community, El Chico Eevee, he posted, you know, the leaks for Tsareena and Dragonite. Essentially, they had like the license images in the game files, and so that's kind of how we knew that these characters would be coming to the game. Now, Tsareena has officially been confirmed, nothing new or official from Dragonite, but this has been officially, you know, like the leaks are so close to basically 100% confirmed. Now, the most recent update was that El Chico Eevee and other leakers in the community could no longer find those images in the game. They were removed from the game. Now, this could mean something very specifically in my eyes. I think that this is Pokemon Unite's attempt to crack down on leaks, you know, pull some of those files, hold them so that way they can't get leaked. So, you know, I saw El Chico Eevee tweeting about, you know, hey, I can't leak the game, like the abilities of the character, because the character's not in the game. It's not possible for us to leak it, and, you know, they will put the character in the game when they're ready to, and essentially that'll probably be the release date, and therefore, you know, we can't leak the abilities. So that's why we don't have those abilities leaked like we have in the past. I think that this is very clearly their attempt to try to crack down on leaking, but what that could also mean in terms of their patching progress, or process rather, is that the patches are going to be much bigger and maybe require more downtime, because usually what I think they would do is preload their patches and hide the content, whereas they don't really want to necessarily do that anymore because everything they post gets leaked, and maybe they want to crack down on that. So the kind of caveat thought to the whole, you know, big patch, big downtime thing is that maybe that's not what it is, and maybe it's just them, you know, holding content. Maybe the whole winter event is just really big, and normally they would maybe patch that in sooner, but they don't want to do that because it might get leaked. So we don't really know what's coming. I don't want to get my hopes up too much for any kind of crazy systemic changes, like really big changes to the game, like ranked and matchmaking, this, that, or the other. But I do think it's important to discuss the viability that it could happen. And regardless, we are getting that big downtime. That's not changing. That is actually happening. So, friends, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm excited to see what this will be. I'm excited to talk about it and to share my thoughts and to have a conversation with y'all. So, as always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.